Greetings of peace, folks. So, welcome to the next part of the series. We talked about the ABCs. Let's just focusing on the awareness, the breath, and compassion. And really, these are related to the one, two, threes. In very simple terms, we are going to go deeper. Okay. Now, there are three dimensions that we want to talk about: external dimension, the internal dimension, and the eternal dimension. What do we mean by that? Now, if we think about life for a moment, contemplate with me that there is this external world that exists, right? And it's pretty stressful. There's a lot going on, and that creates difficulty in our internal lives. So this missing element is the eternal. How do we break that down a simple way? By principles that are eternal. For example, love, compassion, peace. These are principles that one could say inform the human heart across the span of time, over the span of time. There are people that we love, there are people that we're connected to, that through love, through compassion. And with that love and compassion, that connection stays alive. So in a sense, this is what grounds the human being. This is what gives us a root. It stabilizes the human being. It stabilizes the internal life. And it stabilizes, hopefully, even more, it will show up in the external life. So we talk about external because that's what when we're in this body, we're accustomed to getting information from the news, for example, all these external factors that are going on to affect humanity. But we less talk about the internal life, which we do touch upon. But when we're reminded of the eternal aspects of life, then like compassion, like love, like peace, eternal love, eternal peace, eternal compassion. Now we're dipping into a well or an ocean of remembrance. And this is the stabilizing force of meditation, of reflection and remembrance. That when we breathe, we can remember that perhaps that breath is actually rooted in compassion. Perhaps that breath is rooted in love. Perhaps the breath is rooted in peace. So when we remember that, when we recall it, literally say to yourself, I breathe from the breath of compassion. I breathe from the breath of love. I breathe from the breath of peace. Right? And we can try that right now, okay? So as we breathe in, to remember internally that each breath actually draws from that principle of compassion. Witnessing that the breath that goes in through the lungs and opens up into the body, toward the heart, toward the inner being. What is it doing? The heart is radiating and reflecting out into the body, out into the nervous system, through the immune system, through the entire system. That breath of life, that breath of compassion runs through. Very good. Feeling that energy flowing, radiating through. So there we have it. Very simple principles, very powerful principles. We're searching so much for the answers outside, but by invoking the internal and the eternal principle of compassion, the external is supported. The external is connecting to those internal principles and eternal principles, which gives us a sense of empowerment in the face of uncertainty. If we can continue to connect and remember, that remembrance will ignite something within us, and it will in turn shape the way that we respond to life. Well, thank you for listening, and we will continue in a practice series after this one. See you there.